Here at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium, we rehab all species of sea turtles that are found in Florida. What that entails is picking up turtles that strand, turtles that potentially Good Samaritans find out in the water. Sea turtles strand for lots of different reasons. In Florida, we tend to see a lot of boat strikes, a lot of fishing entanglements or some sort of interaction with fishing gear. We do have some of the natural occurring phenomenon such as red tide. Once they get here, we will go ahead and do what's called an intake. What that is a general assessment of what they look like, what's going on, kind of getting an overall of where their health status is at. We see a wide range of age groups along with our species, and it really kind of depends on the season. So kind of one of our staples is the juvenile green sea turtle. They're kind of this dinner plate size. We see a lot of them. Unfortunately, they are mostly affected with fibropapilloma tumors. So we have multiple patients in-house at the moment. We have a juvenile Kemp's Ridley. And this little guy, his name, and we don't actually know that it's a boy or girl, but this little guy's name is Vernon, and actually came to us after being hooked by a fisherman. And this wonderful individual unknowingly hooked this turtle, had some really good bait, and the turtle came up, took a nice little chunk. Vernon actually had a very large, about 2-inch hook in the esophagus, and it was actually quite low, so it actually kind of sat right about where the level of the heart is, which is a difficult spot to get to. Definitely wouldn't have been able to remove, so I'm glad that they called. He's actually doing quite well, and so he's been swimming, eating very well, and we're very optimistic that hopefully he'll be on his way to recovery and hopefully released very soon. We don't actually know how long sea turtles can live officially. We don't really see I think the full extent of their lifespan. However, when we're getting them this young, we're kind of really early in the process, and we know that once they get to adult stage, which could be anywhere from 20 to 30 years old, that's when they're going to start reproducing. And so from there, I mean, you could be 50, 60, 70 years old, and so we're kind of that really critical phase where we're trying to get them up to adulthood where they can really contribute to the population and really have an impact. Our goal here is always to get these guys back to the wild. They play an integral role to our water habitats and to their local populations. Even though they're not necessarily endangered, depending on the species, they're very important. And so getting these guys back out and making them part of a contributing member of the population is really important to the long-term longevity of it. The biggest things that you can do are definitely, watch out for animals as you're boating. Make sure someone's kind of on the lookout. These guys come up, they do breathe air, and so as they're coming up, that's when they're most prone to getting hit, and that's when they're vulnerable. And also, we have a lot of fishing here, and so disposing of that fishing line, making sure that those things are disposed of properly. They're not going to get into the water system. When they're all balled up, they can look like food, or they can be tangled in plants, and those can get into their GI tract and cause a lot of problems for them, and really potentially even be fatal. And so some of these very simple things can really help these guys in the long run.
The Clearwater Marine Aquarium has a hotline for reporting sick or injured marine life. You can find that and information on how to visit the sea turtles in their care on our website at fox13news.com.